There are only two things you need to know before seeing this list. First, to qualify, the anime had to have been initially released in 2024. Second, I am not caught up on One Piece or Bleach, so they are not on this list. Here's a few of my honorable mentions: Spice and Wolf, The Apothecary Diaries, and Konosuba. With that, here are the best anime of the 70 new ones I watched in 2024. Tied for number 10, we're starting off with Uzumaki and PNG Lock. Sorry, I had to. Re:Zero Season 3. Dude, this season has been nuts. I thought things were going crazy with the Archbishop of Wrath showing up and the series turning straight into a horror. Then we got Greed, and I have to say, I like that guy a lot. It was really big of him to allow Subaru to be part of his wedding with Emilia. You don't see that kind of confidence in men too often these days. Props to Greed, man. Then we got that weirdo Lust and that douche Gluttony, and shit kept hitting the fan. I think this is my favorite season to date, and that's saying a lot. Classroom of the Elite Season 3. It'll always be fun watching Ayano Koji set these plans in motion that you didn't even realize he did, and then at the end of the season, you're blown away with how it all comes together. We didn't get to see him beat Ryuin's ass again, but his battle of wits versus Saki Yanagi was something that had been building for some time, and didn't disappoint. His relationship with Karuizawa went in a direction I did not expect at all, and I just really hope she's not simply there to be collateral damage. Ayano Koji's dad instilling a new regime with his puppet was another unexpected twist, and I think we're still waiting to hear back on that child abuse lawsuit he should absolutely be involved in. Solo Leveling. Sorry, not sorry. No mid-leveling here. Is Genu super OP by the end of the season? Yeah. Was the ride getting there awesome? Absolutely. Solo has one of the best builds I've ever seen coming in with the slaughter that was episode 2, and from there we really see why he cares so much about strength. It's relatable and well written. As he progresses, we get incredible fights like in episode 4, then dark as hell carnage in episode 6, followed by more insanity after that with Arise. It's a really sick show, and the ending tease for season 2 was one of the better cliffhangers for the year. Dan. When I heard the plot was going to be a girl and guy trying to prove which is real, aliens or ghosts, and they're both right, I was instantly intrigued. And yet I had no idea what was in store for me. From dong-stealing grannies, to aliens fluent in Epstein, to Loch Ness Godzilla, to maybe the most beautiful anime episode of the year. Dan is unlike anything else I have ever or will ever see. It constantly keeps you on your toes and also has you checking your pants to make sure that you're still whole. It doesn't hurt that it has one of the best leads of the year in Ayase, and her relationship with Okarun is equal parts wholesome and hilarious. Danmachi Season 5. Look, I'm a Danmachi simp. From the videos I've made this month, that much should be obvious. But this arc was legitimately awesome. No anime I watched this year made me think more about how I would handle myself in the hero's situation. Such intense gaslighting was a legitimately terrifying moral dilemma for me. Between that, the twist of Seer being a dark cosplay the entire time, Freya's brainwashing plot, the absurd extent to which she gaslit Belle, and Belle's perfect response to it were all incredible. Windbreaker. Windbreaker is the throwback anime I needed. Was it intended to be that way? I don't know, but it worked. The fights with Shish Torin were incredible, especially the ones with Togame and Choji. Umamiya giving off Rengoku vibes was fun as hell, but also legitimately inspiring. Sakura being the outsider who finally finds a place to fit in was great, and watching him grow was compelling all season long. Can't wait to see more children get punched in season 2. Jobless Reincarnation Season 2, Part 2. The first half of the season kinda lulled for me, as ED isn't exactly high up on my list of interests, but as soon as we got to the cheating on your wife part, I was all in. Honestly, that was probably the only downside of the second half. I loved the tension of Rudius leaving Sylphie behind, knowing something terrible was going to happen, but not knowing exactly what it'd be. Norn's apprehension to getting to know Rudy and eventually growing closer was a nice little emotional roller coaster. The reunion with Roxy was great until she became a homewrecker. and losing Paul only to find out his mom was a vegetable was one of the biggest gut punches to a main character of the entire year. The author of Jobless may be a horn dog, but he sure knows how to write a compelling story. Oshi no Ko, Season 2. Even though the story didn't really move forward until the second half, and we'll get there, I was thoroughly entertained throughout. Learning about the entertainment industry and all that went into it was fascinating to me. How miscommunications between a mangaka and producer can go down and ruin productions is something I'd never thought of, but can guarantee happens all the time. Seeing all the actors have their own stories and struggles to overcome during the production was really cool too. Then we get to the second half and you remember, oh yeah, this show has supernatural elements to it. Simultaneously relieving Aqua of his vengeance and then giving Ruby hers was one of the coolest plot elements I saw all year long. And can we talk about how weird it is that this show about actors and pop idols has this witch casually hanging out in the background? Oshi no Ko is crazy. Kaiju number 8. I love how it's both modern Attack on Titan and also completely anti-shonen at the same time. Kafka is nothing like your typical shonen protagonist as a washed-up 32-year-old. Yeah, that stings. And yet he had one of the best stories of the entire year. The cast as a whole was magnificent, with Hoshina obviously standing out the most. That played a big part in Kaiju having one of the best stretches of episodes I saw all year long, from episodes 7 to 12. Somehow it felt like it kept one-upping itself every week. It didn't have to be intense action either. It could be genuine emotion or suspense and drama. Kaiju number 8 really hit all the beats you could hope for in a new series. My Hero Academia Season 7. This may be a controversial choice when it really shouldn't be. Here's a quick recap of awesome moments from My Hero Academia Season 7. Star and Stripes' introduction and fight with Shigaraki, the Aoyama traitor reveal, the Bakugo Shigaraki moment, Shoji's backstory, Ochako and Toga concluding their story, the entire Todoroki family dynamic, Deku vs Shigaraki, and numerous incredible returns of characters from past seasons. Should I keep going? I can if needed. Nothing else I saw this year had the same type of long-term build this season had, and that's why it was my favorite anime of 2024. With that, I'm out.